I'm gonna forego a couple of the notes that I had. First and foremost, though, I'm gonna open the floor to each office to give their status report on things that they were working on. First, admin, just the most recent is coming up with protocols for counseling, protocols for reinstatement of those that may have been excommunicated, for lack of a better word, that are desiring to return. And then also the um, standards or requirements for becoming an elder, Zakane. All right. We're working on that in the admin section. Also, we're still working on um, uh, trying to get the website fully functional. Like I said, the multimedia portion, we're having a hard time figuring that thing out. We're going to go into looking for experts that know how to troubleshoot and give us some advice on how to fix it. Also, we're working on a not Excel, but an access program where it will be like a database that has that's linked to all the offices. So you will have your admin portion of the access. You'll have your supply, you'll have your logistics, you'll have your security portions where you go in and update, and then those with certain levels of access can access your information from that database. If y'all don't know Access, Microsoft Access is like a database program that produces reports. So we can pull a report if we were going somewhere like we did this last Shabbat. We can pull a report on where we stayed the last time, how much it cost the last time, things like that, where we rented cars from, stuff like that. That's the type of information we're trying to make available through this access program, and it's hard going. It might take quite a while, but we're working on putting together that access database, and that way you don't have to call me and ask me to email you this information. You can just go to that admin portion and ask for that report, and it should produce a report either in Word format or either in like a spreadsheet format. Um, and that's pretty much it for admin. And just to know, Shashimar, I'll be getting with you, Aki, and bringing you up to speed, and then bringing you into the admin office. All right. I need to talk to you and see what your major strengths are as far as administration. I know you do some type of administrative duties as an occupation, so that would be an asset to the admin office. Um, and also, just so y'all know, there's going to be a quote unquote back in the saddle that'll probably take place on several meetings prior to the next quarterly meeting. It'll be like a back in the saddle brief to where we get back into our office, what our duties and responsibilities are, the chain of command, the chain of communication, and things like that. That's it for the admin section. I'm open the door now for logistics and communications if you have a report. Sorry, Johanna.
Okay. Shalom, Akeem. So for logistics, what I got going on for logistics is continue trying to find locations for our events. So the mission is that after talking to Morris and Mark, is doing some things with our VA family, more with our VA family. So try to get with my VA family to get finding places for the event, to do the event, places to stay where we could be in like one location. I've been lately, like the past event, I've been putting together like Airbnbs for us to be together. Um, certain locations where we doing our events. Um, I know we would talk about as I came that we probably just gonna move, yeah, I mean, straight to security. Um, what I'm gonna need is a assistant out there in VA and part of logistics. If anybody want and out there in VA be part of logistics and to work with me, it will help kind of lighten some of the load I already have. Um, Kane, I got you, Shalom. Oh, I'll be getting with Shalomo. Shalomo is volunteering to be my assistant. So Toda, Shalomo. Um, and I just wanted to continue the mission. So we got a lot of things in play with logistics. Anytime we have come up, if it's doing with the Lion Project, if it's doing with the feast days, if it's doing with the unit of Shabbats, we know in Leland we do already have a place and location that we are able to use. But I have to get with Maury and see if something that we can't use, we have an event and we can't use the building because something happened. Do we have an alternate location to get at? So I'm gonna work on that to so we could I could have a backup plan. So the mission is that always have a plan A and a plan B. We might have this location, but do we have a backup location? Just in case that don't go and play. And if that don't go and play, we go to plan B. With communication, I've been keeping it everybody. If you know, I keep everybody in touch with all the messages and everything that's going on with our quarterly meetings and our classes and any updated events coming on. I talked to Elder Albadal earlier today. I know he has not been getting a lot of the messages because a lot of things that's going on, and I know there's a lot of messages on Telegram. So I told Elder Albadal that I'll be contacting the person so he keep updated on the events that we might have coming up. So I get him updated on that. Um, and the avid action. I know we ain't get into the avid action for Sukkot, but some things I've seen is that um we need to start like getting like our own trail like the firewood. Um, we got rid of a lot of firewood that we could have kept and probably put it in the storage. But we had a situation that happened. So I had came with an idea that it don't cost much to rent a trailer. Um, I looked at a trailer like I go to U-Haul trailer, we can rent trailers that's not, it don't even cost, it costs like $50 and they had a trailer for more, you can have that trailer for 3 days before you had to turn that trailer in. So I'm looking into that. So we need to transport anything. Anybody got a hitch? You could pull the trailer. I know Avadal has his trailer also, but if Avadal can't pull his trailer, we should be able to have a backup trailer, where we could pull supplies or stuff we might need. So I'm gonna work on that list of that. Also, I'm working on getting my truck up and running so I can get that back and running. Also, for no, it's not about a land meeting, but I'm just putting in my perspective, my job, logistics for the land. We spent $1,000 for a couple of days. LA's went back out Tuesday. It was raining Tuesday and Wednesday. I looked at the weather to see before we had event, see if it's gonna rain. It would be a good thing to do for the weather, how the weather gonna be, and the thing I see that we just wanted to get the equipment out there and get it up there. But I actually had a cheaper price that I had Shalomo look into it, and me and him looked into it. That
Hey,
talking to
let's bring that portion up. Sleek out for interrupting you
yeah,
in the next land in the next land.
can.
Okay.
So that's things we're working on, like the equipment and stuff, and for logistics. And I know I could keep going ramming on, so I'm a year from that as I can.
Didn't mean to cut you off, but let's leave that portion for the land meet.
Can I year as I can? I turn the floor back to you.
Okay, and then one point you brought about the trailer, we're actually that's going to fall under supply once we get supply really square away. We're looking to purchase a trailer, and that would fall under supply. But you know, logistics would be using it when we go somewhere. But that's a supply item, and once we get supply really honed in, that would be their task is to secure and research getting us a trailer that we don't have to rent. It's always ours, and we can use it when we have to travel. Okay, Con
Kane.
and Toda for your report. We'll go into supply now. Supply if you have a status report. And I understand I've already been briefed on the supply, I mean the storage unit. So you don't have to brief that if you don't want to. I've already been brought up to speed on that on the storage unit.
Yeah, shalom, shalom, Adon. No, so far I don't have anything. We was talking on Sukkot. We spent the time talking with Joseph and Kanagia, you know, to fix a little more of communication and be more close, you know. And I think we're working more on that. And also, thanks Mayak, Sir Yohanan to call me today and, you know, be in touch with me about the fix also that communication. I miss a lot of message, and but so far I don't have anything else. So we have keep working on that. I'm ready for the next one. And about the trailer, I have two trailers. You know, I get well, you know, a Don trailer and utility trailer. So far, if you think you need the trailer to travel around, because I know we've been working on the land and everything in Virginia. If you think you need to bring some tools or everything, or you know, you're more than welcome to use that one until, like you say, try to get another one. So that's another thing we can do. And about the wood on the Sukkot, it is really hard to store. Well, if you see the store unit, we don't have room to store that. You have to be in the yard somewhere. So that's another thing we need to think about it. So, but well, that's everything I have so far, though.
Okay, Toda Adon, and we understand that you make your trailer available, and we appreciate that. You know, we really do appreciate that. But we still want one that's dedicated to the Knesset, and that way we don't have to, you know, well, I think you understand. We just want one that's solely dedicated to the Knesset, and we appreciate until we get one that you make yours available. Toda Rabah for that. And if there's nothing else in the supply, before I go, I see you, Maurice. My floor is yours.
Yeah, so to the supply, Abadal, we're trying to, the storage, just to let you know, the storage has increased on us. And if you would call me tomorrow, Abadal, to remind me to tell you some more things about the storage. But we're in the process of trying to find a storage that's closer, that's actually in the city that we're in. So we're in the process of trying to find another storage unit. And in regards to and like Zakane said, we definitely appreciate you allowing us to use your trailers always. We definitely appreciate it. but also we're trying to do it in a way where it takes the work off you, because not only are you letting us use your trailers, but you're letting us use a lot of your time, because you go to the storage, you unload everything, you bring it to the sites, then you load it back up and you take it back to the storage where the trailer, sometimes we can already have it we can have it pre-packed, pre-loaded, where you don't have to unload your stuff from it, then come get our stuff that's going to be used. So we can already, like, if we know it's going to be a feast day and we're going to do something somewhere else, we can already have the kitchen supplies, the certain things that's always needed that we're making truckloads and runs to do. All that stuff would already be in there. We can have it we know what's coming up, and it would just only be on supply. You can send the officers to go load the trailer with things that's going to be specific for this task, and it can already be preloaded. We just hook up to it, go unload it, load it back, and it was not you having to take all your stuff out. And so that's why we want to do that, just to be more efficient in how we move in with everybody's time and everything. So I yield total as I can.
Toda More. Moving on. I just want to put that out there that I put the word out probably a week after Sukkot that each officer was to submit a after action report, and I only received 2. I received one from Aki Uziel and one from Aki Shlomo. And I appreciate it. That's the way it's gonna go with Shlomo's after action. He submitted it to Yamin, Aki Ben Yamin, and Yamin forwarded it to me. But just so we can get into practice of after action reports, every officer was supposed to submit an after action report. Eventually, that after action report will be combined by the captain, and the captain will submit a combined after action report from his office. But just the status on it, I only received 2. I did my after action, and I got one from Uziel and I got one from Shlomo. Very detailed. Toda Rabah to you too, Akim, for your efforts and putting in that after action report. It's useful. It's useful. The after action reports lets us know where we're falling short and where we're strong at. Eventually, after we get in the habit and the practice of effective after action reports, then we're going to start making lesson learned reports, where things that we've learned from the execution of our missions. All right, and then we'll submit the same way. You'll do your lesson learned, submit it up through your captain. The captain will combine it and submit it to the admin section. And then Morey Samak will get it. I don't want to go through it tonight because we combined. I don't want to keep y'all too long, but there's some pretty good information in there. The one thing that, as a matter of fact, I'll just hold off until the next quarterly meeting, and then we'll go through the after action reports. But in the interim, we're going to start doing these back in the saddles. Me and Morey Samak and Sar Yohanan are trying to come up with a format how we're going to do the back in the saddle briefs. And those that were in the military, y'all are familiar with back in the saddles. Really, it's like an operational pause, where we go back through and revisit our missions, our duties, and our responsibilities, and get back in focus of what our jobs are. So those are coming up, and they'll happen before. We'll probably have several of them before the next quarterly meeting, which will be the beginning of the year. Well, this Gregorian year, the beginning of the Gregorian year quarter meeting. So we want to have a couple of those back in the saddle. So when we go into the next year, we're focused on our mission. All right. And some of the things that's going to happen in that is each office, not each captain. Captains will give their briefs too, but each office prepare a brief based on your duties and responsibilities. You're going to prepare a brief on your project progress, the things that you are working on, prioritized, and the progress how much progress you're making in it. And then the last thing is part of these briefs is training and development. The type of training you're doing specifically in your office and what you're attempting to develop as a standard practice. We call it a SOP, a standard operating procedure within that particular office. Those are the things that you're going to prepare in these interim briefs prior to the first quarterly meeting of the next year. And like I said, we're working on restructuring each office. Aki Uziel, don't get discouraged. What I would like for you and Shah Shamar, if you don't mind, is quasi resume sent to my email, letting me know your strengths. And if you have a preference on which office you want to work in, you go ahead and put that in there. But we want to look at your strengths so that we can best use your abilities and your talents in the particular office. So if there's no timeline on it, preferably before the next quarterly meeting, that way we can go ahead and usher y'all into the office that you're going to be in. Right now, Aki Shah Shamar is tab for assisting me in the admin. We lost one of the officers that was in admin, and I truly need one. And if we separate security from logistics, we're going to need to replace that officer in logistics. So those are things that we're working on, things that we're looking at when we start to do this restructuring. Morey Samak probably have a lot more detail in the next quarterly meeting. I don't want to keep you that long. And before we close out, is there anything any officer has that they want to bring forth at this time? And remember what I said, we call them pocket brains, like a little tab notebook that you can write down your thoughts, your plans, any type of little quick schedule. Because that's what I do. When y'all bring stuff forward, I write it down in that my little tabular notebook. It's pocket-sized notebook that I could just jot down in shorthand what needs to be worked on my thoughts. So the floor is open to any of the officers. First, I'm gonna let Morey Samak address if he has anything, and then the floor will be open to any of the officers before we close. Morey Samak.
Toda Zakane. First of all, Toda for all that you do, Zakane, and brothers, Toda for y'all volunteering and for y'all being a part of this and you coming with your ideals and willingness to support. But when he was just talking about the after action reports and things like that, that he's having you do, all that is important because we just finished going into the lesson about shepherding and wheats and tares. So when I was asking the question, who else knew? So that's what officers are supposed to be the ones that know and see things. Officers are the ones that's going to also be the eyes also to make sure that we are functioning properly. When you see things, what went well at Sukkot, what didn't go well, what happened, in the Unity Shabbat. Sometimes we might need debriefs for stuff like that. So when I can't have us doing these after action reports, it's just, what did you see, whether good or bad, whether who missed assignments, whatever it is. This is all a part of building your shepherd skills and your leadership skills to be able to watch for things and to report it and to speak up and bring it to light, because we are a body and no one person can do this thing. And I'm just going to tell you from my years of experience of being in this, a lot of times the only reason why I knew to reach out to certain people was because someone seen or heard something or someone said something to someone. So especially when we're having like larger gatherings and things like that, like at Sukkot, I mean, we got a large landscape that we're doing. So if you're on one part, you don't know what's going on in the camp. Someone might have heard something. Someone could have said something. And that's what, the officers you see. You come, hey, we have a situation here. These things is shepherding. You're watching over the sheep. You know what I'm saying? We all are sheep ourselves. We're sheep to the Most High. We all have our chain of command. So, but still with that, we are the ones, we're the caretakers and the watchmen of the sheep. So the things that Zakane is having us start to do, it is not petty at all. And I don't think you're taking it that way. But if anybody say, why we got to do all this, it's building character, it's building leadership skills, it's building the shepherding mindset, it's making us observant, and it's making us true men of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? So the things that Zakane is asking to do, please do. Try to do it in a timely manner. Have your pocket notebook, like he's saying. And the reason why he's saying the pocket notebooks, because it's quick to jot things down. I know we do depend on our phones and things, but electronics at some point may go down on us. So it's always good to have the hard copy. So we thank you all for everything. But as he stated, Uziel, please, submit the information to him. Let him know your strong suits, where you feel you'll be best fit or where you prefer to fit. And then, you know what I'm saying? And then we see where you best fit and how we can utilize, utilize everyone's talents. And also, Adon Uziel, I'll be speaking to you sometime just via a phone call as well, because we want to know your strengths. And so, like I said, don't be discouraged. We just want to get you plugged in. So that's pretty much all I have, Zakane. Thank you for allowing me time to share with the brothers as well. But Shah Shamar had his hand up way early when you had said about after action reports, Zakane. So you're going to let him be the first one to speak after me. That will be told.
Okay. Toda More. Aki Shashamar, floor is yours.
So Toruba, can't sleep. Yeah, I must have read that Telegram message wrong because I was under the impression that we would get on like we're on now, and we were going to kind of just touch on key points, and then you're going to give us instruction on where to submit or who to submit it to. But I have it saved on my computer. So yeah, sleep. I told her.
Okay. Well, to address that, anytime you do a report, for now, just so we can get into practice and the habit of doing them, submit to my email. It's judasgate 04@gmail.com. You can see it. I think I have it in Telegram under my profile, my email. But judasgate 04@gmail.com. gmail.com. So anytime you got a report, submit that way. And then when you come into the admin office, that's mainly how we're gonna correspond with reports is through the Gmail, through the Gmail. But yeah, if your after action is ready, go ahead and submit it to Judas Gate. But eventually, probably by the third after action report, the third Moed, then you'll just start submitting your after action reports. This is for everybody. Your after action reports to your captain, and the captain is going to combine all reports and make one report for the office and submit it to the Gmail. All right. Which if Shashamar, you tap for admin, you'll just submit yours the same. you're gonna do it probably here on out. Khan.
Can't Toruba.
All right. Aki Shlomo, floor is yours.
Kane, shalom. Just real quick, I've somewhat informed Morris Samat. Me and him had a conversation yesterday about finding a location up here in Virginia to where we can meet. I have a couple of leads. The best one right now would be the Marriott Hotel, East Main Street in Norfolk. I'm just waiting to hear back from their event coordinator. I have an email that I have to send out with the community center in Newport News, and I'm still waiting to hear from the Kroc Center in Norfolk as well. So I will get back to you with that information once I get more of a lead on what they have going on for us, where we can meet on Shabbats. Ayu.
Okay, you mean for the brothers and sisters that are there in VA?
Okay, for here in VA, and whenever the family in North Carolina comes up to commune with us, okay.
Okay. Make sure Sar Yohanan is in that loop.
Okay.
All right, Toda for your efforts. Benjamin, floor is yours.
Toda, so the only thing I have is communication. That's the only thing I have. That's just one of the biggest things that, I see the issue right now is communication. Communication and lack of planning or not planning ahead for anything. Example would be, I know things happen. I know life happen, and it's like stuff is getting canceled last minute. And, we clear stuff out of the way so we can make these things that's already been put in, but, got canceled last minute. I know sometimes we can't help that, but a lot of things seem to be getting canceled last minute, and that's frustrating. It's frustrating to me. I don't know about anybody else, but for me, that's frustrating. And like I said, I know life happens, and sometimes we can't stop it. But if we plan, for it, we could kind of know what's happening, and when we know what's going on, hey, uh, let someone know, hey, this is happening, so on and so forth. Okay, cool. Now we're on board. But that last minute thing, I'm getting tired of that, to be honest. And the communication, that's it. That's all I have. I mean, if we get that situated, then we're straight. I mean, I don't want to be the bringer of bad news, but bad news happen for a reason. We got to learn from that and try to be better, so we could be better at what we're doing. And so we don't, lead people the other way due to lack of communication and frustration, because we are humans. So that's all I have.
Okay, and Toda for your observation, and that's expressed throughout those after action reports. The two major things is the communication and the planning, and we're working on that. That's for action. That's for action. But as you know, and we could probably grow. I won't say probably. We can and we will grow faster, but we're in a growing process too. We're in a growing process too, and that's what we need. Everybody to express things that they see that are weaknesses, and also the things that they see as strengths also. But those are noted. That's throughout the after action reports. Those two glaring things are communication and planning. So Toda for your observation, and we're working on it. We're working on it, and we're gonna get better. We're gonna get faster at fixing what we see as a handicap or as a problem. Toda. Sorry, Yohanan, floor is yours.
Can Shalom, yeah, I mean trigger something that he said, and something came to mind. I know we've been not talk about working on a planning board for the land. I think we need to do a planning board for the assembly when we got events coming out, so we can start. We do have a committed meeting, but I think we need to, like I know Morris said he's gonna reconstruct that, but I think we should have a planning board to plan a lot of things. Maybe us online, we have a plan and what we got the plan going on for logistic communication with a plan for security and plan, and this, is keep a little simple planning board. So I think it would be a better way of communicating and kind of minimize a lot of the issues we having. And I yield from that.
Okay, Toda, and believe it or not, this is our planning board. This right here is our planning board. Maybe we should implement, maybe nothing on a regular basis, but a sounding board, where the brothers can express their opinions and their feelings on things. Maybe we need a sounding board, but this is our planning board. Everything for the Knesset comes through us. And that's why we're trying to get efficient so that we can make these plans effective and not overlap things, do things repetitive, doubling our efforts. That's what we're working on. That's what we're working out with this group of officers. This is our planning board. Everything that happens for True Light B'ath Yash comes through this organization, and we're trying to get it, like I said in the beginning, sufficient and efficient. But it is a growing process, and right now we're crawling when we need to be walking. We should be walking by now, and we're going to get to that. Whether we get there in harmony or we get there with stripes, we're going to get there. We're going to get there to where we're actually running. All right. But like you said, I think what you might want is a sounding board, kind of like what Yamin just did, a sounding board. Hey, this is the things that I see that I'm not comfortable with, and that I can that we need to do better. But what I will say is, don't just come with a problem. Identify the problem and then offer a solution. Don't just come with the problem. Identify the problem and then also offer a solution. Con? That's all I have. If nobody else has anything else, Morey, always I give the floor to you last.
Yes, that was a great closing that you just stated, Zakane, about if we come with a problem, come with a solution, and the sounding board. So again, as Zakane was saying, that is the purpose of us having captains of officers meetings. So when we have the feast committees meetings, it is really to discuss certain things and get the women in the kitchen committee and all involved. But really, you know what I'm saying, really the way things actually are supposed to work is our leadership structure, which you all are part of, you know, at your level. And so we plan. And so one thing I want to get first that Yamaine said, and what I appreciate is being straightforward and direct. One thing that keeps things together and keeps things from falling apart is saying what's on your mind and speaking it directly as he did, so that it can be responded to. He's expressed itself, and instead of letting things build and fester and then it causes a breakdown. So communication is always going to be key. And so I want to start with communication first and foremost, because Zakane Yaquab did something when he's speaking to Shalomo. So even if I'm speaking to you about something, so like Kanakia and yourself, Zakane gave them, which we've been giving them for the longest, and we've been getting on them about their report, and it's been taking forever for them to go and get their inventory and everything for the storage. But they finally got around to doing it, and they were very adamant about they was trying to get it done. But after Sukkot and the back to school event and things like that, everything is kind of really unorganized, and we're trying to get another storage. So I told them to hold off. When they was coming to me for the key, it's not even really a way to really get in there successfully do inventory, unless we're going to schedule a day for them to go in and actually rearrange or reorganize, which is what we're going to have to start thinking about next, reorganize. But the point I'm trying to make to stay focused is the communication. Even though I told them, hey, this is what's going to happen, they still had to report that back to Zakane Yaquab. So though Shalomo was doing things up in VA, you know, as Zakane said, so now that he's a part of logistics with Yohanan, that's what Yohanan normally do, find these locations, these things, and bring them back for us to talk about, to see if we're going to submit something. So even though you tell me, Shalomo, or anyone, if we have a conversation, because you know, my brothers, y'all know I'm just reaching out and we talking, and when things come, I share, but still report back, and you communicate it still with your department. You know what I'm saying? To whoever your captain is, whatever officers that need to know the information that's going on in your department, always communicate that back, because that's going, and we go through the proper line of communication, and then anything Zakane Yaquab need to bring back to me, it won't be like, well, how I didn't know about it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, because in conversation, we may just have conversation, and oh, why it's on my mind, I say it to you, but then still, you know, communicate back with Zakane Yaquab or the chain of command and how he's telling you what to do if it's something changed, communicate, or you know what I'm saying? So the communication is good. And also, like Yamaine is saying, one thing that burnt me out being a part of the school that I used to be a part of was things supposed to start at a certain time, and it's starting an hour to hour and a half later, and then they actually expecting you to be there after the time, you know, that we're supposed to be there to be to the conclusion of something that's always starting late. So that kind of kills your drive and your desire to do things. So we do have to get better with the communication, and with cancel notice. But the previous cancel notices that we had, at least on the men's studies that came up and the Shabbat Eve studies, some of those were pretty much about unavoidable. The intent was it's going to go down. It was planned out for things to go a certain way. Accidents and things took place. Arrival to destinations was not going to happen. So we just went on to say cancel early enough to let them know. So that's why sometimes it's going to be that, you know. But now, as far as it being on a regular basis, or we need to start considering if we are going to do a unity gathering, if we are preparing for something and we have extra work, then we either need to cancel, or the goal is, and the reason why we start to have these captain officer meetings also, and the men's studies is to, and also what Zakane with the reporting back, is also seeing who is responsible, who can hold a responsibility. So if you're not doing the after action reports, you're not communicating, we're not doing the things that's supposed to be done, then how can we expect someone to hold a position or hold a duty? So the men's studies class is for us to kind of deprogram, reprogram, and we're going to go through a relearning process together. We're going to be opening the floor. I'm going to start giving lessons out. I'm going to start wanting y'all to present lessons because sometimes we cancel it because we're traveling. And in travel, if you're waiting for me to be able to do a lesson that I can't do because something happened on the road, we need to say we either canceling way ahead of time because we know we're going to have this event. So we can already say, you know what, we're going to cancel the other studies next week, or we know a month out that date that's not scheduled in because people have that scheduled in. But at the same time, sometimes we can't help it. So we made it to see that the past few times, that's what after action reports is good for. So after action reports is when we did this event, when we did that event, it affected what? It made it where we could not do this class, we could not do this study, or we could not have this meeting. So we may need to consider going forward, just going ahead and canceling in advance, even though we want to, and the intention is we want to still have it. But we've seen that no matter how far out we plan and no matter how we get on the road early, when that accident happened and put us an hour and a half back, you know, those things happen. We need to just say, you know what, we can plan best we can, but we never know what's going to happen on the road. So let's go ahead and cancel for the sake of travel, for the sake of the Akim are traveling in so they can't hold a class, or we have someone that can't actually hold a class. So just saying all that because we do want to be as less irritating as we possibly can be, because that brings forth frustration, you know. I'm reading what Zakane Eliyahu just put. So, because it just came up on the see. So, redundancy. This is a Tove system that is designed in which a component is duplicated. So if it fails, there will be a backup. Tove doings. Hallelujah. I told us, okay. So we do need to do that because we don't want the frustration there, and we want to execute as best as possible. So Yamin, thank you for that, for you bringing that forth, and Sar Yohanan, thank you for saying we need the same thing. But this is pretty much our planning board now because pretty much everyone on here in some department, some way, is on feast committees. So then as the leadership and as the officers and things, then we can say, hey, we know we're saying this, or we cancel this, you know, and then we talk about it and we have the sounding board, as Zakane said, and then come with solutions and things like that. Just like when talking with Shalomo last night when we was talking, you know, he just shared some of his views also. So everything is not just, you know, what does Maury Zakane Yaqub say? The fact that you're an officer, the fact that you are a man also that's in service to the Most High, you may have ideals that will make things better. You know what I'm saying? So if you have ideals because you have a skill set or a gift, or you see something, and you know what I'm saying, when you bring that stuff, you can help us to be more effective and efficient. So again, thank everyone for being on. But that's what this is. This is, and again, because of my surgery during the Hanukkah season, I wanted us to really focus on rededication, tearing this thing down and tearing down the walls and the things that's messed up and rebuild. So we pretty much in a restructuring process, you know what I'm saying? And as Uziel said on another meet before too, just understanding what's the chain of command, what's the protocols, not knowing these things also breeds a frustration of what's going on. So we do need to, as Yamin say, have good, clear communication. We do need to be doing things in a timely manner, and we need to, you know, get more efficient and better with it. So, and again, so brothers, as he just did, when you do have things, when Zakane is opening the floor to you as officers, it's not only leadership does not only work down, you have to give feedback back up also. And so when he said, officers, you have anything, as Yamin did, he went to now, here's the issue. But now what Zakane is now also saying is, when we come with issues with saying, first of all, here's what I think the problem may be, correct me if I'm wrong, but if this is it, here's a solution I think can happen. Just kind of, so we can all already be being extra productive to say, at least I also have a solution that you can utilize so that this does not continue to happen. So, because it's not that we just giving orders down, the fact that we all laboring men to the Most High, you know what I'm saying? We want everyone to be able to do their function that the Most High gives them, the gifts that the Most High blessed them with. So with that, all praise, honor, esteem to the Most High. So this is not a dictatorship. This is, we all servants of the Most High, and we just have functioning roles, and we operating in it, you know. And so with that, I yield, Zakane. I don't know if we have Zakane Eliyahu on. Zakane, if you want him to share anything, it's totally up to you. Zakane Yaqub, but I'm done for the night. Thank you again, Zakane, for the structuring and all the things that you're doing. And for all you brothers, I thank you all for your desire to serve with us and for us to be a true house that's going to be dedicated to the Most High, to be better, to bringing forth the word to his people. So I yield, Zakane. Toda for allowing me to be a part.
Hello, Toda, Maury. And I forgot to put out on the floor so that we don't have these conflicts. How would y'all feel, or if y'all are able to change the quarterly meeting from Kamishi to Rabi'i, from Thursday to Wednesday, same time, but the last Rabi'i of the quarter, and that way we won't conflict with the academy.
Zakane, if I could just make a suggestion, three studies a month for the men is good, because like I said, you'll be doing this part, and because one thing that I'm also looking at, like Yamin saying, is people planning for certain things, then that would be a whole nother day. So one of the things, just from experience, and I'm just going to share this, I'm being transparent with my brothers here. A mistake that I've made a lot in leadership, and I'm not necessarily calling it a mistake, but it is what it is. Sometimes your house go lacking. And so we can get so into doing so many different dates that we're lacking in our house, we're lacking it. So I don't really, if we can avoid taking any more time from, then that will give us the week off from that. That will be a lay week for whatever we just get into the habit of giving an assignment on that week before the, so that other week will be catch up on your Hebrew, here's your assignment, and then they have that whole week vacant of not coming onto a study. And then when we come back to the men's study, then they can present whatever we may put out as an assignment. But that'll give that lay, and you just keep it scheduled as is. That way it's not a whole nother day that you have to try to work into scheduling. That's just my suggestion. But if they don't have an issue with it, then so be it. But that's just a suggestion. I don't mind shutting down that one Kamishi, because like Yamin said, as long as we have it communicated, then we can let everyone know, and then we can get the calendar. When SAR sends an announcement out, everyone would know that final one is going to be this, and everyone whose officers know to tune in, and everybody else will know that's just a day we don't have a study. So I'm fine with it that way, but if you want to do it another day, that's on y'all, but I'm just trying not to take up a lot of time from families, wives, and Yaladim, and just from self.
King, Toda Moray, that sounds even better. That the last Kamishi of the quarter, we just won't have academy that Kamishi. That sounds good to me too. Can y'all thumbs up if y'all agree with that, or if thumbs down if you rather change the day? All right, that's the majority. Toda Rabah. So that's what we'll do. The quarterly meeting. We'll have the quarterly meeting instead of the academy on that Kamishi, the last Kamishi of each quarter. Toda Rabah. Zakane Eliyahu, the floor is yours if you have words, sir.
I haven't any words. I'm excited about men of character and honor being about the Father's business and desiring to do it in such a way that all are benefited. And so I give all esteem and honor to the Most High for each and every one of you whose lives you've committed to this process. But as has been said, and I do underscore, this is a process. You are in growth. And as such, sometimes growth is uncomfortable. And the season in which we are in, as Zakane Yaakov has said, we should be walking and indeed approaching running. But here we are. So we're making the best of it. And this is a point in time of rededication and rebuilding. So don't think that this is something that's just happening here locally. My impression, my sense is that this is happening within the whole house, regardless of where the assembly might be. This is something that I believe is happening in the whole house of Yah. So, but we each do and play our roles, but let's play it to the hilt, lacking nothing. I yield.
Toda Rabah, Elder. Toda Rabah, for those wise words. Those wise words. And I'm gonna echo Moray Samak. I truly appreciate y'all's effort, man, and y'all's dedication. We're still here. We're into our getting ready to go into our third year. And you can look back and see we have made progress. Slowly but surely we have made progress. We just gotta put it in another gear and grow a little bit faster. But I truly appreciate y'all's dedication to this organization. All praise, honor, and esteem to the Most High. One of the brothers want to pray out, and then we'll call it a night. Adon Uzi, will you do us? Will you pray us out?
He sent a message earlier that he was in a bad spot. I believe I can. That's why kids keep dropping off.
Okay.
Shaw has his hand up.
All right.
Yeah, I got it.
Toda.
No problem. Our hearts and minds clear. Baruch Hashem Yahweh, blessed be the name of Yahweh. So by Yahweh for allowing us to gather on this call. And please give us the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of your word. And please teach us how to apply it to our daily lives. I ask that you may please remove any slothfulness, any laziness from us. Now I ask that you may please remove any confusion from our minds. Now I ask that you may build up strong righteous men before your face. And I ask that no one or nothing will lead us astray. I ask that you may give us the strength to shed off bad habits. And I ask that anything that is not of you, anything that is not beneficial to building up your kingdom or building towards our salvation, I ask that you may please remove it far from us. And I ask that you have mercy upon us. Please remember that we are dust and we are flesh. And I ask that you may please put your word within us. And I ask that whatever we build in righteousness. And I ask that you may please remove pride far from us. Please remove any stubbornness, any rebellion. For rebellion is the sin of witchcraft. So I ask that you may please remove rebellion far from us. And I ask that you may please put the fire within us. Please put the fire within our bones. And I ask that we are all zealous for your word and zealous for the truth. And I ask that we are all zealous to do your will, to do your service. And I ask that we will not make a bad impression or give or put shame to your name due to our words or due to our actions. But I ask that whatever we do, that we are a light while we're doing it. And I ask that our light will never grow dim, but I ask as we grow older in age and also grow older in this walk, that our light will only shine brighter and brighter. And I ask that you may watch over us as we go to sleep. And ask that we may wake up with joy in your heart and prepare for your Shabbat day, and ask that it may be well with us. I ask that you may accept this tough of this prayer for being your will, for it is your will that shall be done. Bless you are Yahweh, blessed is your name, Yahweh, and blessed is he who comes in the name of Yahweh and truth. Amen, amen, Selah, so be it.
Hallelujah. Amen wa amen. All right, Akim Toda Rabah. Lila To.
Lila To.